scrolling through TikTok with my phone in one hand and the TV. Okay, so I was scrolling through TikTok with my phone in one hand and the TV remote. The TikTok video was a little too loud. Tell me why. I tried to like put the volume down using the TV remote, and like I know I'm pressing the TV remote, and like I'm wondering why isn't the fucking volume like going down. It took me a minute down using the TV remote, and like I know I'm pressing the TV remote, and like I'm wondering why isn't the fucking volume like going down. It took me a minute. Okay, why can't I send this now? This is so annoying.
Welcome back, guys. It's been a minute. It's been a while. I've missed you, and I hope you've missed me too. Today is Friday, May 2nd, 2025, and I am back home in the wonderful Commonwealth of Virginia. Unlike people mistakenly call Virginia a state, technically it is not a state, it is a Commonwealth. And I literally think the only difference between a commonwealth and a state is that one's called a commonwealth and one is called a state. Let me see. Difference between commonwealth and state. I knew Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and Virginia. The difference lies solely in the name, with no legal or political implications. Like I said, the difference between commonwealth and state is literally that one is called a commonwealth and the other is called a state. Kentucky, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, they are all commonwealths. Okay, well, it's good to know. But as always, I am your host, Addy. I am glad to be back. It is warm here at home, but then again, it was warm in Fiji where I was, so it's not like it's much different. I guess the only difference here is that I'm at home. Really, that's the only difference. Let's I had some stuff I wanted to do tonight on the stream. I've been working on the game on and off, here and there. I added the states to the NPCs. This guy should actually here. You want to hear my voice acting? Here we go.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
Oh, that reminds me. That's what I wanted to do. So I want to download. Back in the day, I used to use a program called Cool Edit. And it was an amazing MP3 file, like audio file editor. It was amazing. And everybody had it. Everybody pirated it. Everybody had a pirate copy of Cool Edit. Cool Edit was the bomb. And then I think Adobe bought it. I literally have okay, but Adobe went and they bought Cool Edit, and then of course Adobe did what Adobe does, and that is completely just just destroy any enjoyment that you get out of life. And then earlier today, I found a program called WaveMap, but now, well, where is it? I downloaded it for my Mac. I literally searched Cool Edit 2025 or something like that. And let me see. No, that's the Cool Edit. What? There's an IDE called Cool Edit. No. Oh, look at this trash IDE. Okay, I'm sorry. I should not have said that. This actually looks like a very let's check out this IDE.
Hello.
Hello.
He has X-Ming.
I'm sorry, but if you don't have line numbers turned on by default in your IDE, then I want no part of that trash. Moving files, okay. I could have sworn the program was called Wave Map. Wave Map. Okay. Okay. I am having an existential crisis here. I think I looked up Adobe Cool Edit Alternative. I might have to go downstairs and get my Mac because is it WavePad? Oh, and maybe it's WavePad. Let's see. There we go. Okay. I literally thought I was like losing my mind. I thought that I was having some type of aneurysm or seizure or something, and that I was just completely misremembering things. But now here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and install this. I still have to. I am behind an entire week on travel videos. Okay, so we'll install this over here. Next. Yeah. So this was a great little audio program that was. I loaded it up. I loaded in a WAV file, and I immediately was able to use it because of all my years of experience with Cool Edit. So it's called WavePad, not WaveMat. Okay, here it is. Now, I will say I'm not a big fan of I'm not a huge fan of when it opens up. Okay, but here it is. So we could like open up an audio file. Let's see what we got. Do we have anything on the download? Is there anything downloaded? I don't think so. Okay. Telegram desktop. Let's go over here. Easy. And then you can see I have two audio files, but yes, this is exactly like Cool Edit. Exactly like Cool Edit. Oh, but it has a couple little cool little features like this. This was a cool little feature. It helps you trim the audio a bit more.
Freeze! You're under arrest!
Freeze! You're under arrest!
Freeze! You're under arrest!
That is actually me, but I went ahead and I made the pitch a little lower. Actually, I made it a little bit higher because my voice is so deep and manly that it was actually scaring children is what the consensus was there. So I had to actually up it a little bit. So I have that, and then I have this one. Oh, look, I can trim it on both ends. Okay.
I'll find you!
So I basically what I needed was placeholder. I needed / wanted placeholder audio in the game, and where do we have that? Where did the game go? There it is. It's right here. So if I go ahead and play this, I'll show you. So the NPC is now aware, kind of his surroundings. He'll be able to see you if you walk towards him, and then now he's gonna shout at you. That is not shooting. That is shouting. Okay, reloading domain. What is going on here? I don't know why Unity is taking forever to... Okay, here we go. Now it's finally moving. Okay, so you'll see. I'm going to walk closer to this guy, and you'll hear it.
Freeze! You're under arrest!
So it's very scary. He tells you, freeze, you're under arrest. And then if you run away from him...
I'll find you!
So there is a problem with that. There's a slight problem with the I'll find you. Oh, wait a minute. Cannot play... Will find you sound. Audio source on or will find you sound is missing on NPC. So I was wondering about that because the problem is I get near him. Let me see. Does
Please, you're under arrest.
Okay, but when I run away from him, it should sound far away.
I'll find you.
But it doesn't sound far away, and I think it might be because if it doesn't have an audio source on the NPC, then it is using some default audio source. Is that the thing? Defabag Windanani says hi. Said hi. I like how Winbag Difanani says Winfag Difanani said hi. Okay, so I think this is a problem. Well, there's definitely an audio source. Okay. But I don't quite I'm not sure if I understand like audio source and audio resource. Like audio source would be the thing making the sound, whereas audio resource, the resource would actually be the sound. But couldn't an audio source therefore have multiple resources? Right? Like, doesn't that make sense? I guess we could ask AI, right? Like, okay. Can you explain the difference between an audio source and audio resource? Couldn't it be that an audio source has multiple audio resources? I see an audio source as being a thing that makes a noise, and the audio resource being the noises it makes. All right, let's see what the AI thinks of my stellar deduction, my powers of deduction. What do you think, douchebag Windanani? How do you think AI is going to respond to this? We'll find out in a minute. Apparently, or at least I think we will. Hopefully we will. AI, are you there? I swear, I don't know why I continue to use Chrome. It has turned into such a shit browser. It has turned into an awful, awful browser. All right. You're spot on with your intuition. The terminology isn't always clearly separated in Unity documentation, but here's how to think about it. Audio clip, the actual sound, audio source. So to your point, an audio source has multiple audio resources. Not quite natively. A Unity audio source can only play one audio clip at a time. But conceptually, yes, you can think of, okay, how you'd use them, I don't know. So why am I getting this cannot play will find you sound? Wait a minute. So if I go to the script here, let me see. I think what we're going to have to do is I want to know, wow, that text is pretty big. That's all right. I want to make sure that you are involved in this as well. And if the text is big, then so be it. Okay, it's going to be part of the idle state. Okay, this is quite like I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking how like this code in this project is a disaster. It is a mitigated disaster. But considering that this is the first ever Unity project I've ever done, I'll live with it. And then when we move on to the second game, it'll be all right. It'll be better. We will, iterations. Like Matthew McConaughey's character in Wolf of Wall Street said, revolutions. How does it go? Revolutions. One comes out the other. Well, how does it go? Revolutions. Let me see. That's such a good scene. I will go and I will watch that scene every now and then just because it is such a good scene. And I know you know what scene I'm talking about. I mean, Wolf of Wall Street is a fantastic movie, but Matthew McConaughey's scene, I mean, come on. You know it. Let me see. Revolutions.
Follow? Revolutions. Keep the
there we go.
File faster. And guess what? That's good for me. Yes, sir. Revolutions.
Revolutions.
Revolutions. Keep the clients on the Ferris wheel. There it goes. The park.
The park is open 24/7, 365 days a year. Okay. So we want to put a breakpoint here. No, not there. So it's telling me the audio source. Where do we get the audio source? The audio source is on the base NPC, right? So we want to make sure this. That should not. Audio source. I guess we could put a breakpoint here. The only problem, it's going to, let's go ahead. We'll put a breakpoint. There's the warning sound. Warning sound. We'll find you. Let's put a breakpoint here. All right, let's go ahead and press play, and then we'll play the game. We'll start the game, and we'll do some good old step through debugging. We're gonna do the step through debugging, boys. We're gonna step through those debuggers. We're gonna step through. I'm talking. I had this girlfriend once, and we used to always talk like that. It was just, somehow with pretty much every relationship I've had, we resort to some type of baby talk. And the only relationship, I was going to say the only relationship I've had where I have not done that, I'm just going to go with that. The only relationship I have not had where I haven't, the only relationship I've had where I didn't do that was with my wife. Oh, the cat was there. I was hoping the cat was still there. I was going to put the camera on him. Okay, so we have a breakpoint here. We are attached, I believe. Yes, we're attached. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. Revolutions. The park is open. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to get closer.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
All right, now let me run away from him. And then it should break. Okay, so it's breaking. So, audio source.
I'll find you.
We'll find you. Okay, let me clear the logs. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Where did he go? I'm complete. Okay, he's over here.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
Okay, no error message. Okay, let's go over here now.
I'll find you.
Where is that coming from? Cannot play, will find you. This is definitely play one, will find you. So I'm a little confused about a couple of things. Like, why is that? Why is this log message cannot play will find you sound? Why is this log message coming like well after the sound actually has played? That's what's kind of confusing me here. That's what's kind of got me at a loss. All right, let me share this. But that's what's kind of got me at a loss, right? Like, why would it play? Why would it print the log message like well after the sound? Like watch this. Let's try this again. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go. Okay, we have the breakpoint set. Let's just go ahead and We're going to walk close to the guy, with the guy that has the beautiful voice acting attached to him.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
Okay, we have no log message, no error message whatsoever. All right, how's my hair look? Does my hair look okay? All right. And now, I'm going to run away from him. I don't even think I need to run away. I just need to... Okay, we've hit the break point now. Where's the mouse? Okay, so we're here. Now it's going to play the sound. Will find you is definitely not null, right? Like right here, I will find you. Both the warning and the will find you, they both have a value.
I'll find you.
And then boom. Why? What this also tells me that audio source is not null. I don't think will find you is null either. How would will find you be null? How would any of it be null? Like, what is the meaning of null? Really, what is the meaning of life, if you think about it? Okay, well, let's think about this pragmatically. Okay, let's get rid of the breakpoint. Let's clear the log message. Let's try this again. Okay, we're gonna go bug this guy again. No, not you, green guy. Okay, we're gonna bug this guy. Come here, purple guy.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
Okay. Now let's walk away.
I'll find you.
Cannot play. That is bizarre. Okay. I have another idea. Don't discount me yet. I have another idea. I am going to have it play warning sound, and I'm wondering if it's going to have the same error, but for warning sound this time. So what that is going to tell me, that's going to tell me that there's some functionality inside of this block that is executing. And I'm not even sure, because I would imagine play one shot is like a coroutine type of thing. It probably like spawns off some thread that launches the sound. That's a pure guess. I have no idea how it's implemented under the hood, but I would guess that play one shot returns immediately. Well, actually, I know it returns immediately, right? Because when we do the step, we step. The sound plays, but the step continues on. So that tells me, well, no, it doesn't tell me that. Audio's weird, because I when I was writing that C++ game, I noticed a very similar thing when I was debugging. That I could do step through debugging, and when it played a sound, it played the entire sound, even though it would break immediately on the next line of the debug of when I was debugging. So that tells me that the audio, when you play it, you know what it is? I bet that it's like some type of buffer disconnected from the process that the sound gets sent to. Hence, when you do the step through debugging, the process that you're debugging is not actually the one playing the sound. The process you're debugging just sends the data to the sound card. That's probably what it is, if I had to guess. And since I'm a genius, I'm probably right. Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's go over here. Over here. All right.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
All right, now let's go back over here. Okay, now we're going to walk away. Now, what I'm hoping, well, I'm not hoping for anything. I'm curious to see if it's going to play the "you're under arrest" sound again.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
And see, oh, that's really interesting. So it did play it, but it's telling me "will find you" sound is missing. So there is something gone. So that actually should make life a little easier. Am I recreating the idle state? No. That's start. No, he never leaves the idle state. Update. That's bizarre. That's actually really bizarre. I'm actually kind of really confused. Let's just block out this code. So now, as far as I can tell, I am commenting out any functionality related to that sound, except for this. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let's see what this does. I am sleepy. All right, let's go. All right, let me send something mean to somebody. All right, let me see. Here we go. All right, there. I sent a mean message. Okay, now let's see what happens. So actually, let's clear the logs. We're going to clear the logs, the log messages, and now we're going to come over here. Okay, here we go.
Freeze!
You're under arrest. Okay, now let's back away and see what happens. Okay, so it is definitely something about that block of code. Warning sound. Huh. I think I thought I knew. Okay, first of all, I think this is a bug right here, but we'll get rid of that. Current direction, original target. So I'm kind of at a loss, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make both of these nullable. All right? And by making them nullable, that will probably change absolutely nothing. But let's see. Let's restore the sound. Let's see, because what's really confusing me is that Razman says, has player warning sound equal true? Is it a singleton? No, Razman. Just calm down with the singleton, Razman. Calm down. Just calm down, okay? Don't worry. Razman's going to start his own religion, and we will, in a sense, Christianity is kind of like, well, actually not just Christianity, but all the monotheistic religions are all kind of like worshiping the singleton. Like when you think about it, they're all worshiping a singleton. Because if you believe in a monotheistic religion, then we are all instantiations of a singleton God. There you go. Razman, maybe Razman's onto something. Okay, let's try. We're going to come over here. Razman says, I am currently working on a personal project to stream audio and video in my intranet and also am having issues.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
What do you mean? You're like working on your own like YouTube studio kind of thing? I'm a little confused as to what your project is, Razman. Okay, let's see.
I'll find you.
I am a fucking genius. I swear to God, I am a genius. Look, the messages went away. Let's try again with a clean slate of log messages. All right, we're gonna try one more time, and we might play a game of chess to kind of just like break this up for a second. I'm feeling chess right now. I'm feeling me and chess are about to make out is what's gonna happen. All right, let me see.
Freeze! You're under arrest.
Razman, I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but the beautiful audio here,
I'll find you.
That's my own voice acting. Thank you. That is my voice acting, and I deserve credit. As a matter of fact, I'm going to credit myself when I eventually finish this game, and it's going to say credits, and it's going to say voice acting. It's going to say like programmer, lead designer, audio engineer, voice actor. And it's all going to be me. Razman says, do you want to see the repo and see what it is? Yeah, sure. Send me the repo. Oh, crap. We always have problems sending a repo on what the hell am I trying to say? On YouTube. If you just want to type in, like, type in like everything after the slash of github.com, and then and I can just append it. I mean, okay, so this is all really just like a disaster right now. This is bad. It's bad, but I think. All right, sorry. Just sending messages off screen. I'm talking to somebody off screen, just saying, you know what? You need to respect your elders. Okay. So what is this where I get stuck? Oh, so what I was looking before I came on, revolutions. The park is open. Wait, what does he say? I got to figure out what I got to remember.
Is open 24 solutions. Keep the clients on the Ferris wheel. And it goes. The park is open 24/7, 365. Every decade, every god solutions. You found good for me.
Wait.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Revolutions. You follow? Revolutions. Keep the clients on the Ferris wheel. And
Such a great scene. Such a great scene. Okay. I wanted to look in the asset store. I got to be careful because I'm typing asset store. You don't want to make a typo. You miss one T and suddenly you have a very different browsing experience. Okay. All right. Do we want to try? So what I was looking for like a rig. And apparently that's what they call it, like a rig of fists, right? So that, because right now it's easy enough to make it so that the NPCs can hurt you, but I need to make it so you can fight back, obviously. And then the first thing, because I don't want the player to have access to a gun immediately. In order to get access to a gun, a player is going to have to basically take it from an NPC, whether they have to kill the NPC first or whether they have to beat the NPC or whatever they have to do. The player needs to get the gun from the NPC. And how are they going to do that? I guess you could do it with a knife. Okay. I noticed your voice acting. Yes, thank you. I am a very good voice actor. Let me set it to public. Get Raziel 1991 repo network overlay. All right, let's take a minute to do a code review. Raziel. Oh, okay. Let's see. Raziel 1991 network overlay. Did you set it public already? I don't see it. Oh, okay. You forked my project. Aw. Oh my God, you must have forked it really early on. This was 9 commits into it that you forked my project. That's pretty cool. But how many commits in am I now? I'm just curious. I am 104. Getting there. It's actually turning into a little project. All right, network overlay. Looking. Still don't see it. I still just see 20. Let me know when it's available. So I was looking for like a set of fists, like, but it's actually like difficult to find, and I couldn't even like. Let's look again. FPS hands. Oh, not Hajan's hands. Okay, Razman says it's there. Let me look. There we are. All right, found it. How is the is the music too loud? Let me know if the music's too loud. Okay, we have an input client and a overlay server. Okay. So I'm still a little confused as to what this project is. So let's start there. So first comment, there's no README file. I don't know what I'm looking at. All right, let's start with the input client. Assembly info, audio receiver. Oh, I remember NAudio. Haven't used it in a long time. So is this just I guess just kind of what just to like send audio, or I don't see anything for video. Screen receiver, maybe share screens. Okay, let's see. Private, wave out, wave provider. UDP client is receiving cancellation token source. Start receiving. Enter. Wave provider equals buffer provider wave format. So I'm reading this and I'm seeing like just a way to send audio over UDP, like Skype or something like that. Okay, receive audio while token is cancellation requested is receiving. Try UDP received async byte result buffer wave provider add samples. So I'm guessing that's just to play what it receives. Stop receiving. Okay. Wave provider. What is wave provider? Buffered wave provider. Let's go to screen receiver. Okay, so let's go to the this is the input client. So is this this looks kind of like a screen sharing. I mean, it kind of looks like it from the code it sounds like Zoom kind of, or any screen sharing voice chat thingy. Start receiving, is receiving, listener, TCP listener. So I find it interesting that you're using UDP for audio, but you're using TCP for screen. Is that what I'm not sure why you wouldn't use UDP for both. Or stream. Continuously read from this connection until it's closed. Memory stream. First read the length of the image. So you read the image, bit converter, now read the image data. You read the image data. Okay. Then you reset it. Then you turn it into a bitmap. And then I'm assuming that you display. Okay, display image source equals bitmap. Okay, easy enough. Okay, so that's the input client. So this is... Wait, what? Input client? Okay, this is a nitpicky thing. This is very nitpicky what I'm about to say. I'm trying to think, would I mention this on a code review? And honestly, I probably would. And I would probably preface it with, this is a nitpicky thing. It's about the naming. Input client. Screen receiver. Do you see what I'm nitpicking? Input client, screen receiver. Typically, receiving things are server side, sending things are client side. I know it's not always like that. It's a nitpicky thing. So I would, you know what? Just forget I even mentioned it. Okay, let's look at overlay server. Right, so screen sender is an overlay server. So yeah, so you have it backwards from what I would probably go with. Like screen sender. If I was doing this, screen sender would be under the client side of things. It doesn't really matter, but just kind of just reading into it. Okay, so let's look. So we have audio streamer. Because again, like right now in this case, I am the streamer, I am the client. And I am streaming to the YouTube server. So I'm sending data to the YouTube server. So again, it's very pedantic, very pedantic. I know you didn't come for a code review of your... I know you're not asking me to do a code review of your naming conventions. So basically, one computer receives audio and screen sharing, but the other one will only have a window that cannot be cached by streaming like but the other one will only have a window that cannot be caught by streaming like Teams, Zooms, Discord, etc. All right. If I clone this and load this in Visual Studio, will this run automatically, or do I have to is there something else that I have to install? Well, I guess we could always just try. Let me see. Okay, but I'm just looking at the there seems to be 4, maybe 5 files that are like the meat of the project. Screen capture. So this is literally just getting the bounds of the screen using bitmap. Let's see, using graphics from image to bitmap. So you just copy the whole. MS. Okay, so yeah, you're saving it to memory to array. Ooh. An array of bytes. That's interesting. I am going to assume that C# is like C++, where when you return large objects in C++, how can I put this? So if you declare a local variable, and I'm talking C++ here. If you declare a local variable that is a large object, and then you manipulate that object inside of a function, and then you return that object, C++ is going to be smart enough to not copy it. It's basically going to in C++ you call it a move. You basically move that stack variable to the closure of the calling function. So you avoid a copy. So basically it's like it's a move. It's a move. I am going to assume C# does the same thing. I don't know offhand. I would worry. Well, I guess we can ask. Wait, let's ask Grok. In C++, if I do something like, I don't know, large object, get large object LO to a bunch of stuff with LO, return LO. Okay. If I do something like that in C++, oh, not return LOL. Ha! Okay. The compiler is smart enough to do a move of the LO to avoid something like a copy on return. Is this the same case in C#? Let's see. It's different due to how C# handles object allocation, memory management, return value optimization. Let's break it down. The compiler typically constructs LO directly in the caller's memory, eliding the copy, and uses a move operation if return value optimization is impossible. If large object has move constructor, blah, 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 blah. This is highly efficient. In C#, the situation is different because it's managed memory model and how objects are handled. If large object is a class, in this case, it's an array. I don't know why I clicked over there like it was over there. It wasn't over there. Where'd it go? The method returns a reference, a pointer to that object. There is no copying of the object's data itself. Only the reference is returned, which is a lightweight operation. For example, here LO is a reference to a heap allocated object. Oh, okay. So that's good. That's good. It's just so it's return. It's so likely you're getting a reference to that array. So you're good. You're good. Yes, there are no move semantics in C#. Yes, I know that. Return value optimization in C#. They do not rely stack. Okay. So what I'm reading here, I don't know why Grok has gotten into returning short novels. It has gotten so bad with the length of the responses that AI returns that I have to ask AI to summarize the fucking answer that I asked it for. Oh, look at this. Oh, example with optimization. If you're working with a large struct and want to avoid copying, you could return. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Let's try this. Okay, here is the code. MS. Is MS being copied on return in this C# code? In your C# code is being oh my god, just tell me fucking yes or no. Look at this. Okay. The memory stream object MS is not copied on return because it is not returned. Instead, MS creates a... Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. Yes, Grok is doing that to me. It returns a Mexican soap opera. It does. It's literal. Like, look at this. Like, I ask a simple question, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to try something. Let's test Grok out. Let's see how bad Grok actually can be with this. I'm going to ask, what color is the sky? Okay, it's not terrible. Anyway, so this is creating. So I get what it's saying though. So in the memory stream, you're copying data here. So an optimization, which is probably what the AI recommended in that copy of Anna Karenina that it returned, is you could consider passing in a buffer to capture screen. And yeah, so you could try that. You could just pass in the buffer, and then have it just write to the buffer. Like I would imagine copy from, let's see, G copy from screen. So what are you doing here? G copy from screen, point empty, point. Oh, wait a minute. Where you get? Okay. Let me. Okay, Addy. Okay. Put your attention. I'm going to pay attention. Okay. Rectangle bounds. You're getting the bounds of the screen. Makes sense. Using bitmap. Bitmap equals. Okay, so you're getting a bitmap. You're creating a bitmap object with it of the size of those bounds. Using the graphics from image bitmap. Oh, I see. Okay. So you have copied the content of the screen into G, but G is the bitmap. Graphics G equals graphics from image. Yes. So this is basic. So yeah, this is basically saying, give me a graphics using bitmap as the buffer, essentially. Copy from screen. Okay. Copy it into graphics. So now it's in bitmap. Memory stream. Bitmap save. So yeah. So anyway, I would think. Well, actually, I don't know. Let's see if we can figure out where capture from screen is being used. Okay, let's do this. Let's Oh. All right, let's just clone it. Oof, it is getting warm in here, boys. You know it's warm when the back of your knees are sweating. Raceman says, hi, programmer. Wait a minute. Wait, now I've got Razman and Raceman. Ooh, things are going to get spicy up in here. Oh, it's going to get spicy. There's going to be a Mexican standoff in a minute. All right. Capture screen. See, this is difficult. This is a little difficult for me to review because I am not as familiar with copy semantics, move semantics. I'm not as familiar with those things in C# as I am in C++. Yeah. This, I would see. Well, first of all, okay, I'll be fair. Yeah, what I'm saying could be premature optimization. All right, maybe it's not a problem, but my instinct tells me that you can probably gain some optimization if you somehow pass in the buffer into which you wanted it to copy, as opposed to returning it and having another variable that accepts the return value. But again, I have to put the caveat out there that this is C#, so I'm not as intimately as familiar. But just from experience, I would see about maybe trying to pass it a buffer to use instead of having it create a buffer and then copying that buffer. Let's see, what else do we have? So we start streaming, append display. Okay, this is just GUI stuff. Screen capture, screen sender. So we connect. So again, and another thing, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure why you're using TCP and UDP. I would think for something, so if screen sender is to be as seamless as like you can see me moving my mouse around, I would just use UDP for both. Now you might want to, I was going to say you would have to use a different port, which isn't the end of the world. If I was doing a commercial program, I would probably, I would prefer not to have multiple ports, because you could get away with doing this with using the same port, right? You just pre-pinned your audio data and your visual data, and then you kind of look at that and you route it accordingly. But that's actually maybe getting a little, that might be a little over engineering for your purposes. So you could just use two different ports, but I mean, you're already using two different ports. So yeah, I would use UDP. You're definitely going to get a performance boost using UDP over TCP. That there's no question about that. You're going to get, and again, for something as smooth as you want a screen capture, you want it to be smooth. You just go UDP. Network stream, get stream, client get stream. First send the link to the image. So this is for, this is screen sender. Link the bytes. Oh, bit converter gets screen data. Stream right. Send the actual image data. Yeah. Again, this is difficult. I'm not sure if that's doing a copy or not. Well, you would have to do a copy, because you're sending it over a pipe, so you would have to flush. Okay, then you disconnect. Okay, there's nothing. Okay, nothing crazy going on there. Okay, screen capture. Okay, we already looked at this. Audio streamer. Wave in event, UDP client. Start streaming. Wave format. Wave in data available. So this is a lambda on it. No, wait. Oh. Oh yeah, start recording. Okay, so that's like that's capturing from the mic essentially. And so when it has data available, you're sending it on the UDP, which is cool. Okay, record, dispose, close. Okay, nothing crazy going on there. Looks good. Easy. All right, screen receiver. So again, you're using TCP. You go ahead, use UDP. Display. Okay, so let's see. Screen receiver. You create it. What's screen receiver? You're creating it with an image? What's the image you're constructing it with? Let me see. excuse me. Is screen display a built-in object? I'm guessing screen display is screen display a built-in or /global or /singleton variable? Is it? Okay, a bunch of messages over here. Let me see. I like that. Oh, yeah, Grok is doing it. I am using 3 ports. The text sender is what is important here. The text sender. I don't see a text sender. What? Okay. Is screen? No, screen display is not a built-in global singleton. It is likely an image control or similar UI thing. Oh, I see. Okay. So screen display is some UI thing. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a UI. Oh, this is that's the actual object onto which you're displaying the image. Yeah, I see now. Ah. Yeah. Display image. Okay. Your naming conventions is confusing me. Again, I don't want to get too. You need to name your variables better. You know that, right? You need to improve. I would have called it something like display canvas or image canvas, something like that. Okay, start receiving. Is receiving. Okay, so you start receiving cancellation token. Task run, receive screen loop, cancellation token. Okay. Okay. Is cancellation token, is that a built-in thing with... Would that be under .NET or would that... It's system threading. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. God, I love C#. C#, you know, it's like C#. It was designed by C++ programmers are like, I use this pattern all the time. I wish there was an object that just kind of did it for me. And that's what C# is. C# has all these nice little handy dandy convention thingies. Ah, it's so nice. Okay. While cancellation is not requested okay, well, let's investigate this. How does is receiving get nullified? Okay, so basically... What options are there in... So, what I'm getting at here is receiving kind of seems redundant. I'm wondering if there is something inside of cancellation token source that you can use. I don't know that there is. I'm just curious. Now I want to see. Like, can you set... I would imagine you could. Like, is cancellation requested? Is that something you can set yourself? Are you going to tell me? Okay, is cancellation... Gets whether cancellation has been requested token. Cancel. Yeah, I don't know. So the reason that I kind of mention is receiving is because if a class or a class / object provides you with certain facilities, I would try to use those facilities. And instinctually, I see token.isCancellation requested. Instinctually, I'm looking at it and thinking, well, surely there's something in the token that I can set, right? Like, I'm wondering, like, if you call cancel on this. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm wondering, like, if down here inside of this catch where you're setting, where did it go? I thought you were setting is receiving. Yeah, like stop receiving, like, Yeah, like you're even doing it here. Cancellation. So why couldn't you use... Why couldn't you... Do you even need is receiving at that point? Does this not suffice? The only reason I could think of as to why that does not suffice is if this call to cancel is asynchronous. And this is cancellation requested might not be true immediately after calling cancel because cancel is asynchronous. But let's see. Cancel. That's not going to help me. I'm not going to read about it. Okay, let's see. Exceptions. Okay. Communicates a request. An aggregate exception contain. Okay. Examples. The associated cancellation token will be notified of the cancellation, will transition to a state where is cancellation request returns true. Any callbacks or cancelable operations registered with the cancellation token will be executed. Yeah, I would try that. I would get rid of this is receiving altogether, and I would try to see if this call to cancel automatically just takes care of this. That feels redundant. So let's see. In listener not equal to null. So let's see. Do you... Yeah, is receiving feels even more redundant. Because as far as I can tell, listener is never going to be null without is receiving or cancellation canceled already been called. And what if one of these... Okay, what's going to happen if one of these throws? I'll check the .cancel method to replace is receiving. Yeah, I think that would be good. Like, and also, since this is happening inside of the screen receiving loop, this is happening in a loop that actually it doesn't even look like the loop is being... Oh, no, it's always going to execute everything. I was going to say it looks like the loop is not being yielded, but I don't think you need to because you are doing a lot of work in there. But this loop is getting called over and over and over and over and over and over. It's getting called a lot. So I would look at just doing this. Just this. Nothing else. That would, what I have here on the screen, that would be my goal for this loop. That would be my goal for the conditional checking on whether or not you should exit the loop. Okay. So I was reading up about nullable objects in C# the other day because my concern with them, and I was not able to find a... Well, actually, So my concern with nullable objects is that the nullableness of the object comes with overhead. And my mind goes towards like hardcore optimization. I said hardcore. Yeah, no, but my mind goes towards like very, very performance critical, high performance code. And so during these, so any overhead on an object is overhead that needs to be considered. And that's why I was like, so what I was doing, and I was doing something similar to this in part of this game code, and I was considering, and I asked the AI whether or not it would be worth it. So I had, let's take this example. Let's say I had this. Let's say I had public class foo, and then I had, let's say I had a nullable member variable, right? And then I had a public void update. And then I was like, I was just calling client.do something, okay? I was calling it over and over and over. And my concern, and actually I guess it would be like this, because I learned about the exclamation point, because you can shout. I think of it as shouting at C++, like, hey, this is not null. Do it, do it, do it, do it, right? Or this, which is like, hey, it might be null, be careful. but I was concerned about the overhead either way. So I was asking AI if it would be worth it, because I think I had something like an enter function, which is not the constructor, and it's not called in the constructor, but it's called like when you enter into the working state of the class. And I was thinking about doing something like, and it looks a little ridiculous, but I'll explain my reasoning in a minute. We'll just call it client 2. And this isn't a complete one-for-one analysis or an analogous copy of what I wanted to do, but basically I wanted to have I was wondering, would it make sense to have a non-nullable member variable that was simply set to the nullable member variable? Would this reduce any overhead? And AI told me that yes, but only like 1 or 2 cycles worth of overhead. And I was like, well, that's not 0. That's more like 1 is more than 0. So I was kind of on the fence as to whether or not it's worth doing that. So do you see my you see what I'm getting at? Now, I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm not saying that's what you should do. This just reminded me of that. It just reminded me as like, well, should I have a non-nullable member variable to get a little performance boost with nullable variables? AI was like, it's negligible. But it's like, is it really? Is it negligible? Like, in a word processor, it might be negligible, but in a game or in a server, is it it might not be negligible. Okay, let's see. Accept the client connection. It's waiting, received. Okay, using network stream. What is the using doing here? And you're doing it again here. Ha ha ha, struggling with nullable members. Well, they're... So again, I think of them as like pointers. Like a pointer to an object. So like in C++, you could have like a class... Whoops, you wouldn't do it like that. Class foo, right? And then you might have thing, which is just a regular thing. Now, you would never do this in C++. I'm trying to think of another one. Never mind. Just shut up. Just ignore me. I'm an idiot. Okay, what is this using? I mean, I know what using is, but this is an odd context. But again, this is C#. I don't know. I'm not a C# expert, so let me look at it. What is the using doing in this context? Okay, using declaration explained. Thank you. In this code, the using keyword is a using declaration introduced in C# 8.0 that automatically handles resource disposal. It creates a new memory stream object, assigns it to the variable memory stream, and automatically calls dispose on the stream when it goes out of scope. Interesting. But does that not happen automatically? Okay, this is especially important for streams and other iDisposable resources. So is this a matter? There's 2 possibilities. 1, not all objects in C# have a dispose method. Or 2, all objects in C# do have a dispose method. It's just that it may not necessarily get called when it goes out of scope, and the using forces it. So we can test that. No, wait. I remember one of the coolest things, like when I like again, I like the back in my day, we only had C# 1.0. We didn't have any of these fancy link queries in our code. But I remember one of the coolest things I thought was because everything in C# is an object, even primitives. And what I mean by that is that this is valid C++. This is valid C#, where I'm calling a toString method on a literal to, which I just thought was so cool. Because it's so simple. It's a very you're an idiot if you think that's cool, and you're not wrong. I am an idiot, but that is still really cool. Just how ingrained the concept of objectification. No, not that type of objectification, but of objectification is into every facet of C#. And I loved that. I loved that about it. So what it makes me wonder is there a dispose method on the toString, right? Or I'm sorry, on like an integer literal. Okay, let's ask AI. Okay. Where's my AI? Where's my AI? I used to work with this woman. Her initials were AI. And I remember this one time I was in a meeting, and this was like a year or so ago. And I was like, yeah, no, we could just simply ask AI to do it. And she looks at me. She's like, hey, I'm your AI. I'm your AI right here. And then she said her name, which I will not repeat. But she's like, I'm your AI. And I was like, God damn it, you're right. You are. Okay, let me see. Let's ask Grok. Grok.com. Okay. In C#, I know that this used to be valid code. 2.toString. Is it still? Let's start there. Nothing happened with... Oh, Razman says nothing happened with AI, right? Shut up. Shut up. No, nothing happened with AI. Nothing happened. Just Razman, calm down. I know I have stories where nothing happens a lot, and I'm telling you, nothing happened. And I know you're still making reference to my ex-girlfriend's sister. Nothing happened. I swear, nothing. I swear on Not Shore's life, because he's not here right now. I swear, nothing happened. Okay, okay, so blah, 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 blah. No, what? Okay, so this completely just... In C# you cannot directly call... Oh my God, C# completely just lied to me. All right, whoa. C# sandbox. Okay, well, I guess I'm a complete idiot because I remember that being a thing. Hey, look. Okay. I think the AI is wrong. Is the AI wrong or? Let's run. Run. Fuck you, AI. AI telling me. Yeah, look, the AI didn't just say, oh, no, that's not valid C#. It's like, has it ever been valid C#? Fuck you, AI. Making sure I didn't make a typo. Let's try it implicitly. Let's try it. No, I'm sorry. Explicitly. Run. You moron. Look, fucker. You just tried to make me look like an idiot to my streaming audience. And when I tried the following, it worked just fine. So tell me you're sorry right fucking now, or there will be violence. That's right. I'm gangster like that. Oh, now suddenly AI is like, oh, it can work. I don't care. Okay. Shut up. I don't care. Shut up. I don't care. Now, let's talk about .dispose. I don't need to ask it about .dispose. I know not all objects are disposable. I know that. Okay. All right. Let's get back to what we were doing. We were okay. So that's what the using does. So using makes sure. Oh, so Razman, you know what that means? That means this memory stream is getting created every time you're inside this while. So I think you should just simply just move this up here. Now you might have to do something like memory stream clear or something. I don't know. Well, wait a minute. Let's see. Memory stream position, reset the... Yeah, like, you might have to reset some kind of state within memory stream, but you're recreating that memory stream every time. Memory stream, ready, sync. I would try to avoid that if you could. I don't know if you can. I'm not intimately familiar enough with this. But I would try to avoid instantiating that object every single loop. Razman says you are going to be the first one to go down when they go sentient. You just made a powerful enemy, my friend. All right, length buffer, bytes, wait. Okay, so you're reading 4 bytes. If bytes read is less than 4, break. Connection error or closed. I think you might have a problem here. You're only breaking this. Do you want to break this too? I think you probably would, right? Because if you have an error, you're going to come back in here. Let's see. And then you're going, okay, maybe that's what you meant. Okay, because then you're going to try reconnecting. You might get stuck in some weird loop, though. It looks like you're never... Oh, wait a minute. Let's say, okay, read async. So let's say on this line, client disconnects. It's going to come back. It's going to try and reconnect. If it fails, you're never going to go in there. All right, you might be all right. Okay, image length bit converter to N32, length buffer. Now read the image data. $81920? What is that? 80K? Oh yeah, it says right there 80K. Duh. That's why 80K. That's weird. Total bytes read. Is 80K some standard that I'm not aware of? Nothing happened with AI. You know what? What kind of man do you take me for, Razman? Jesus Christ! What God? Do you think I'm like a? Oh, I never started the. You think I'm some type of monster that can't control himself? God. I mean, a little bit, but come on. Okay, let's see. Bytes read, await string. Okay, so bytes read. If bytes read equals 0, memory string write async. You're writing asynchronously. Buffer as memory. Bytes read. What is buffer again? Buffer. Okay, it's just this array of bytes of 80K. Where did you get 80K from? Won't the size of the byte array depend on the screen width? Right? Like, what if... won't it? I'm not sure. I would think it does, but I would think that the size of the buffer depends on the screen dimensions. But I honestly don't know enough to say whether or not that's true. Okay, memory size, rate of sync, total bytes. Okay, so you're just looping while total bytes read is less than image length. Image length. Like, why wouldn't you at least have... Why wouldn't the buffer be at least image length, right? Like, why would it... Can you do this in C#? You can just put this right here. And if not, I'm sure you could use a vector of bytes or something. Anyway, that seems a little awkward. Okay. With things like that... So one thing I will scrutinize a little more are hard-coded values. And like things like bytes read equals 4, like that's fine. But things like the buffer size or the max buffer size, like those hard-coded values, I would, if I was reviewing it, I would ping the developer and I would say, like, what's up with 81920? Like, what's special about 80K? Why is it 80K? And then assuming that there was a decent answer for it, I would, again, it's kind of a nitpicky thing, but you'll thank yourself later. I would just pull that out and put it into a constant variable, and then just use the constant variable. It's a very simple thing to do, but it makes the code easier to read. Okay, so let's see. So we're writing or memory. So, yeah, because I'm super curious. Okay, read async, read into buffer, math min, buffer length, which would be 81920. Or image length, which could be 1,000,000,000, minus total bytes read, which might be 2. So you're only ever going to read the buffer length number of bytes, it looks like. Bytes read equals 0. Then we're waiting to write everything. Memory stream, write async buffer. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Didn't get a complete image. If total bytes less than image length, but total bytes, this should never hit. How would this ever? Yeah, this check right here, if total bytes is less than image length, that'll never be true. Because that's the only way you can get. There's 2 ways you can get out of this while loop. One is if it's not. Wait, while total bytes is less than image length. So yeah, so one, if the condition is not met, right? If total bytes is greater than or equal to image length, then you'll get out of there, and so you know that you're not going to hit this. The other 2 ways really is, 1, if the program crashes, and 2, if there's an exception thrown. So this will never get executed. So I think you can get rid of this if statement. Reset the beginning of the stream. All right, convert to a bitmap. Bitmap image, begin init, cache option. I would... I would want, because this, I was going to say this most assuredly is a copy, but now I don't know. I would actually wonder, what is memory stream? Memory streams, this using memory stream. Is stream source, is that a memory stream type? Let's see, bitmap image C#. Let's look that up. Because what I was trying to say is I'm wondering if you could use this stream source variable directly. Like wherever you see memory stream, could you just simply put bitmap image stream source? Obviously, you would have to declare it ahead of, and you'd have to figure out all of that. But could you just declare this? Could you just use stream source directly as opposed to this, which might be a copy? I'm not sure. Let me see what bitmap image is, though. Man, oh, I had some Korean chicken for dinner. Oh, so good. I'm so tempted to go downstairs and get more. Oh, I want to get more. Okay, bitmap image C#. Okay, let's see. And this is called stream source. Stream source. Stream source property. So this is an input output stream. I would really wonder if you could just assign this a new object and then use it directly. I would look into that or I would confirm whether or not this is a copy. So I would start there. This line right here, this stream source equals memory stream. I would first see, is that a copy or is that like assigning a reference? I'm still a little unclear of like copies and references and that kind of thing in C#. I'm still a little foggy in that area. So I would just check that memory stream. I would just check that this is not a copy. If it's not a copy and it's some type of reference assignment, cool, you're good. If it is a copy, I would see, can you do something like bitmap? You might have to like something like this, where obviously you're going to have to tweak this, but outside of the while loop, maybe you declare the bitmap image. Up here, you'd say bit stream source equals new memory stream. And then within this code inside of the while loop, wherever you have memory stream, you just use bitmap stream source. Something like that. I would try to get towards that. Invoke. Okay, so that's just updating the UI, and then we have some handlers. Yeah, and we already talked about getting rid of the is receiving and actually getting rid of the check for listener not equal null. Anyway, so start there, make those changes, and then maybe on Monday or whenever you have those changes done, if you want me to review the rest of it, or if you want me to review it again, I guess I should say, I'm happy to do that. Yeah, like the UDP and yep. Okay, I actually did have my own project I wanted to work on instead of just reviewing Razman's code. I'm not here just for you people. I mean, Muhammad Ibrahim Sahu. Whoa, that is quite a name. Look at this name. Look at this name over here. Whoa. Muhammad Ibrahim Salihu, or Mizmerach Misma. All of that to just say hi. Well, Muhammad, hi. Did you know that Muhammad is the most common name in the world? I believe that is the case. Let's ask Rock. I'm pretty sure that is the case. What is the most common name in the world? And Razman, no, nothing happened. The most common name in the world is Muhammad. I told you. Oh, where's my water? I told you it was. And how did I know that? Because I'm a genius. I am a genius. I like certifiable genius. Oh wow, that was quite a burp there. That was something special. Oh man. Oh, Muhammad says thank you with a heart. Well, you're welcome, man. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. All right, so let's see. Let's close this out. Let's get rid of Razman's code, and we're going to. All right, so we will work. Let's just play this through one more time to get some context, to try and regain the context that we lost. I need to come up. Oh, and I bought this. I bought like one of these like My Cloud, like these Western Digital NAS. A few years ago, and I just went ahead because like it came configured with like RAID 4 or what RAID. I always get them confused. RAID 0 is the one where there's no redundancy, and then RAID 1. I just know that of the 4 terabytes, when I got it, I only had like 2 terabytes because it came with redundancy built in, and I immediately was like, no, I want all 4 terabytes of space. I want it all. And so I reformatted it, and then so I like when I travel, I do video, and then I copy all the video to my NAS, and now I have run out of space for that, and so now I need to buy more storage. So now I'm like using like an old, because it makes me so paranoid. Like I go to these places and I record this video, this video, it's so good. Video like you've never seen. Amazing video by a very talented videographer. That's me. I'm talking about me. And so it makes me paranoid because I have all this great video and then I have it in one place. And so I had to copy it onto an old 1 terabyte external drive that I have, and I'm talking about all the video I got from Fiji, from the wonderful island of Fiji, actually the wonderful country of Fiji. I actually learned that the name of the main island is Viti Levu. So anyway, the trip to Fiji was good. I think I did like 2 streams when I was in Fiji, but the internet in Fiji was not very good. The internet, not so good. Wonderful country, not so wonderful internet. So, but good trip. Reminded me a lot of Tahiti because of I gotta say, like in some ways I actually like Tahiti better because I mentioned this already on the stream. I didn't realize how freaking big Fiji is. Now it's not, I mean, like I'm from the US, right? And like, of course we're like the biggest and the best. So it's not nearly as big as the US, but I thought Fiji, I was thinking like it was like the size of Tahiti. I thought like, cause I circled the entire island of Tahiti in like 2.5, 3 hours when I was in Tahiti a couple years ago. It took me like 2.5, 3 hours. And that's with like stopping. Actually, I think it took like 4 hours, whatever. Circling the island of Tahiti, that's like a multiple day thing, especially when you consider the roads that they have there. Like, so it's a big island. So it didn't have the like quaint, small island feel that Tahiti had, but I'll say the people in Fiji were a lot better than the people in Tahiti, because the people in Tahiti, there was nothing particularly wrong with the people in Tahiti. It's just the people in Fiji were so nice. They were just like incredibly outgoing and forward friendly, if that makes sense. And of course, like me being who I am, I think it's probably because like I'm American and I grew up near a big city. It's like when I see kindness, I'm immediately skeptical. Like if I see somebody being nice to me, my mind immediately goes towards, what do you want? Like, what is this person trying to get from me? Like, I immediately do not believe that their intentions are good. But in Fiji, the people were so nice. Like, I would say that like of the things I liked in Fiji the most, the top thing was the people. The people were amazing. And the other thing that kind of drove me nuts about Fiji that I learned this when I was in Tahiti, and I actually learned it to a lesser extent when I was in the Faroe Islands too, was that I was in Fiji for a few days. After a few days when I was there, I'm talking to my mother and she's like, "Oh, how are the beaches? Are the beaches just beautiful? You must have gone to a million beaches. Beaches. But you can't find a beach in Fiji. Like on the main island, like it's difficult to find an actual beach because where the land meets the ocean, it's like marsh or it's rock or it's just nasty mud. So like it's not, you see all these pictures of these beautiful white sandy beaches and just no, that's not what it's like. Like I went to 2 beaches. I went to 2 beaches when I was in Fiji. One, which I'm pretty sure One which was a nice one that like the locals go to. What is, I forget the name of it, Serendipity or something. Wait, that's not the name, but I can't remember. But there was, so I went to that beach, which was a natural beach, and then I went to a beach that was on like a Marriott. I went to like a Marriott resort. I went there for lunch, and it was, I'm pretty sure that was a man-made beach, but now I want to remember the name of this other beach that I went to. I can find it on a map pretty easily, but like beaches are just not common there. They're just not. They're now apparently, from what I was told, if you go out to the smaller islands, then yes, most of the smaller islands, there's lots of beach land on the smaller islands. But here on this big island here, not so much. Okay, so the beach I went to is right over here, Sawanee. Yeah, I said Serendipity. I had the first letter correctly. Sawanee Beach, which was a nice beach. It was a nice beach, I guess. I'm not a big beach guy. I tried going to like three different cemeteries when I was in Fiji, and I made it to one because the roads are terrible. So here, if you look at this, so this drive from Nadi, this is another thing that drove me freaking nuts. It drove me nuts. N-A-D-I. How does any normal human pronounce N-A-D-I? Nadi. Razman says the project to share the audio and video from computer A to computer B. Computer A has an overlay which cannot be seen by streaming apps. So someone can be in the computer B and the couch and the person on computer A. Wait a minute. The project is to share the audio and video from computer A to computer B. Okay, the audio and video from computer A to video B. Okay, A to B, audio and video. Computer A has an overlay which cannot be seen by streaming apps. Okay. So someone can be in the computer B in the couch. Okay. And Razman also says, so what's with the cemetery tourism? It's just something I do on my channel. It's just, I find cemeteries a little fascinating. And if you go to my travel channel, which is Addy Goes Places, be sure to click and subscribe today and become a member. But if you look, I have let me see. Oh, this is the wrong account. But I don't know. I like going to cemeteries because I think cemeteries, to a great extent, they'll tell you a lot about the place that you're in. Let me see. So I think I have playlists, and then one of these should be cemeteries. So, all right, guys. So actually, I only have 3 videos. I probably need to update. I need to update this this playlist. But cemeteries, they tell you a lot about the place you're at, because the better kept the cemetery tells you something about where you're at. And like the cemetery in Bangalore, like, I don't know if my buddy Bharat is going to see this or anybody else in India. And if you and Muhammad, if you're still listening and you're from India, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. But this cemetery in Bangalore was one of the most depressing cemeteries I've ever been to. And I know what you're thinking. Like, it's a cemetery. It's full of dead people. It's full of loved ones that are gone, right? So of course it's going to be depressing. But it was so depressing because of how destitute the destitute condition that the cemetery was in. It was so depressing because, oh my, I love India. Like when I was there, I loved the food. The food was amazing, but there was trash everywhere. And the cemetery was no exception. Just trash everywhere in the cemetery. It was so depressing. Anyway, but the cemetery in Fiji, so the roads in general in Fiji are horrible. They're horrible. So this main highway here, Queens Road, that most of that is okay. But what I was getting with Nadi. So most humans, they're going to pronounce N-A-D-I. They're going to pronounce it Nadi. Like Nadi. No. How do they pronounce it? Nandi. Like they invent N's. Like this other town here, Sigatoka. No, it's not Sigatoka. It's Singatoka. Like where do they have the nerve to put an N into words that doesn't have it? So anyway, from like Nadi to Ba, right here, like Nadi up to this town called Ba, that was like an hour drive, right? And I found myself in Ba on like a Sunday morning at like 10 a.m., like fairly early. And it doesn't get dark until like 6 p.m. And so like I'm looking at a map on my phone and I'm thinking, okay, well, I made it from Nadi to Ba in about an hour and change, right? It was like maybe like an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes. And then I'm looking and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could go from Ba and I could take this road down here. Like I can't do a circle of the island because that's going to take me like 12, 14, 16 hours, right? I'm not doing that. But I'm thinking, well, it's 10 a.m. and I'm in Ba. I need to get back to Nandi. I need to get back to Nandi. So maybe I just go down this road here. And I'm thinking, all right, so let me see. If I go to Ba, I can make it to Singatoka. I can make it to Singatoka from Ba. I'm thinking like I look on Google Maps and Google Maps says 2.5 hours. And I'm like, okay, well, I could probably take like 3 to 3.5 hours to do it. If I stop and take some pictures, do some video, make some content and all that, I'm thinking like 3.5. And then I'm thinking, okay, from Singatoka to Nadi is probably an hour of itself. So I'm thinking like, okay, this would be a good day trip, like a good 4, 5, 6 hour day trip. Razman says, but the trash on India is only on big cities. Maybe. There was that, this is so bad. But there was that game. Like there was a contest to find a Google Street View picture in India that doesn't have litter. I'm just gonna look at it. I gotta try it now. I mean, there's lots to choose from. I'm gonna choose something away from the city, away from any major cities. Okay, I got lots. Okay, what about over here? Right here. Look at this road I'm choosing. Let's see. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Didn't do good. All right. Let's try it maybe up north. Up north. Oh, no. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right. Let me see. I got to zoom in more. We're going to go up to the Himachi. What is that what they say? Okay. Oh, no. Okay, we're going to do this. Okay, what about this road right here? We're kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, no. I think that's a fork. I see a fork on the road. And not a fork that splits, but an actual fork that you eat with. All right, let's see. Let's try up here. Okay, what about... Okay, over here. Easy. Okay, what about right here? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's a picture. It's a picture, so it doesn't really count. Let's see. Okay, what about right here? Oh, definitely not. All right, what about... Let's go over here. Okay, what about this road right there? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Oh, no. I see some trash there. Oh. Oh, my bad. All right. But anyway, goddamn bug. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, so I'm like, all right, I could certainly do this half circle. I can certainly do that in a full day, right? Like I could do that. So I make this decision when I'm in Ba and I'm getting gas and I'm like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to go we're going to like 1/3 circle of the island. Cause it's what it's probably maybe a quarter, a little bit more. But anyway, so I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I start going and I'm like, all right, my first stop will be Navala. Although they probably pronounce it Navanla or something. They probably throw an N in there somewhere. So I'm driving, and mind you, I am inside. I have rented this little Honda. What is it? What are the little Hondas called? It's not a Toyota Yaris, but it's the Honda version of a Toyota Yaris. The little tiny Honda, small Honda model. Fit. A little Honda Fit. Little tiny Honda Fit. Oh my God. I needed a 4x4 Jeep to go on this road. It took me over an hour to get somewhere around here. I didn't even make it to Navala, which Google Maps said, oh yeah, that's 45 minutes. No problem. Just 45 minutes away. You'll be there in 45 minutes. No big deal. No, it took me over an hour to get somewhere in here. And I don't know how I managed to not destroy this Honda Fit. I put this thing through so much turmoil, like boom, pothole after pothole, scraping the bottom, going just like, you have like these, the road is just like you have the left and the right side of the tires, but the middle just kind of comes up and you're just like going, like, I don't know how I didn't destroy this Honda Fit, but at some point in here, because I got to this shopping center, which is literally just somebody's house with some like candy bars and sodas inside. I went inside. It was very nice. And they were very welcoming people. Like everybody's like super nice. They go in like, oh, hi, welcome. Where are you from? Are you looking for anything? Hi, yeah, no, oh yeah, be safe, child. Like everybody is super nice. But I made it maybe a little bit past that shopping center. Let me make sure this actually is the one I'm thinking of. And then I was like, you know what? No, not going to happen. Just not going to happen. And I ended up turning around. Was this it? Oh, this is a nighttime picture. There was like a bus stop right across. Yeah, that's it. That's it for sure. So, it was terrifying. Like that drive was terrifying. If I had a proper vehicle, I would have pushed on because I'm a man and that's what men do. They're manly. But in a Honda Fit, you can only be so manly in a Honda Fit. I'm sorry. Your testicles can only be so big in a Honda Fit before they're scraping on the road. And that's not comfortable for anyone. So I turned around. But it was the same story. There was some, I think, over by the Salwani Beach. There's a cemetery somewhere. Where was it? No. It was up here. Yes, here. The Vuda Cemetery. I was really excited about this cemetery because I was like, ooh, cemetery. Let's go. And nope, couldn't make it. Roads were too bad. Nope. Is that and the railroad tracks. This freaking country, there's these railroad tracks everywhere. These railroad tracks are everywhere in Fiji. Except they're like railroad tracks for a little person train. And I am not even kidding. Like if you go to like a big amusement park, like I went to Disney World once when I was like 5, like literally like a couple years after it opened because I'm old. But like other amusement parks in the US like King's Dominion or Six Flags, a lot of them, they'll have these little trains that kind of go around the amusement park, and they're just like they're exactly that. They're little trains. The kids get on them like, oh yeah, I'm on a train. There are these little tiny trains where the tracks are like this far apart. Like each track is like that far apart. They had these all over Fiji. Like on major roads, on side roads, there's all these railroad tracks everywhere. And I'm thinking like, are these passenger trains? Like surely they're not passenger trains. No, I found out that they're sugarcane trains. Well, when they have the sugarcane, then they grow it in the interior of the island, and then they have to transport it to the coast for export or processing or whatever. They put it on these little trains that apparently are driven by the 7 dwarves from Snow White, and then it's taken to the beaches or to the edges of the island for processing. So these train tracks are everywhere. I tried to make it to the Buddha cemetery. I could not make it to the Buddha cemetery. There was another cemetery somewhere else I tried to make it to. I could not make it. I finally did make it to a cemetery, though, a very small one in this town down here called Visacy, however you pronounce it, right? Oh, Muhammad says, I'm not from India, with a laughing face. Okay, well, good. I'm glad. Oh, my God, I got to shut this window. Oh. Oh, Jesus, it is so hot. I'm going to turn the AC on. Give me a second. I hate summer. All right. But, so I did find a cemetery in Visacy, and I went to this town. I fell in love with this little town. Like, if I was going to live in Fiji, I would want to live in this little town, or a little town like it. Because it's, so I'm in this little town of Visacy, and it's this little village, right? It's this little village, and it's all like, it's so picturesque and just so beautiful. And you have these houses, these very, Razman says, Muhammad, where are you from? So Muhammad, where are you from? Actually, let me do this. Muhammad, if you are listening, or anybody who is listening on mobile, if you want to come on over to the desktop stream, I am pasting that link into the mobile chat room now, and let me go ahead and pin it. So if you want to join the desktop stream, go ahead and click that. Visacy it's this little town, and all the houses are very modest houses, right? They're like houses of the average Fijian. They're not like opulent, like these big rich people houses. No, they're just very average houses. They're very nice houses. But the thing is they're like right on the water. Like they're just beautiful, just like overlooking the water with these islands out there and this beautiful view. And I'm like walking around this little town with my camera like, hey, look at me. I'm a tourist and I'm doing a video. Like, just like looking retarded. And so I'm just sitting there and I'm admiring like the view, and I'm trying to be respectful and like not record people, especially don't record the children. And like, asking anybody like if I can record them, I ask them before I do and things like that. And at this one point, I'm just like, I have my camera panning in the water, and I'm looking at my camera, and I'm panning, and oh yeah, there's a naked Fijian kid in the water, just his little penis hanging out. I'm like, no, delete, abort, mission abort. Oh God, Jesus, it was terrifying. Muhammad says my laptop's not with me. It's literally in the middle of night of where I am. But Muhammad, that's what we all want to know. We all want to know where you're at. Like, where are you? Where are you from? No, wait. If it's the middle of the night, let's see. It's 9 o'clock here, middle of the night. I'm going to guess. Okay, well, with a name like Muhammad, so he's either an immigrant to somewhere like England or Sweden, or if he's not an immigrant, then he is probably somewhere in Africa, like Egypt, Morocco, something like that. Though there could be a wild card. For all I know, he might be in Iceland. You never know. You don't know. Nobody knows where Muhammad is. I don't know where Muhammad is. Anyway, Visacy was beautiful, and it made me realize that I need to go to the smaller islands. And I felt the same way when I went to Tahiti. Like when I was in Tahiti, I was on the main island of Tahiti the whole time. Well, that's not true. I spent most of my time on the main island of Tahiti, but then I went over here to Moorea for a day. And when I went to Moorea, I was thinking like, I should have stayed in Moorea. However, I would not want to stay in Moorea or a small island in Fiji if I was alone. I would not want to do it alone. If I was alone, I want to stay in like one of the bigger cities, you know, just like have options to like go to a restaurant, meet people, go to a bar, meet people, something like that. I want to have options. But if I'm traveling with somebody, then I could see staying on one of the smaller islands being very nice. And then of course this trip was an interesting trip because on the way back from Fiji, I went to San Francisco. So I had to go all the way from here on down to Fiji, all the way. San Francisco is like right in the middle of California there. But you see this line right here? That's the international date line. And I crossed the international date line. So my flight took off at 10 p.m. on Saturday evening. 10 p.m. Saturday evening. And it landed in San Francisco at 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. Which... I love that. I love that. I always knew that existed. I always knew that there were flights that existed such that you land before, using quotes, before you take off. But I'm glad that I can finally say that I've been on one, which is a little, you know, like last year I was all excited because I was crossing the Atlantic in the southern hemisphere. Now I can say that I've actually traveled back in time. So it's pretty cool. Razman says, I also got the mobile event. I have never seen a desktop on my YouTube notifications. That's weird. I don't know why. YouTube hates me, I guess. I mean, I'm just so controversial. Muhammad said, you said you're a genius, then predict. Oh my God, seriously, you actually predicted it. So the problem is, Muhammad, is I don't know which one was right. I'm going to go with the immigrant that you're probably in England. That's what England or Sweden. See, look, and just to show you guys proof, Muhammad said, actually, oh my God, you actually predicted it. So just confirmation that I am a genius. He's a genius. His brain is so big. Beautiful brain. Amazing brain. Amazingly beautiful brain. God, doing the Trump voices. So I went to San Francisco. Going from Fiji to San Francisco is a fucking shithole. It is a shithole. So I arrive Saturday afternoon. When I land at the airport, I leave the airport, I get in a taxi, and I'm like, hey, my hotel's downtown. Let's go. Let's go to the hotel. It's right downtown. So we're driving. You know, the cab driver, and I'm in the back, and I'm just, you know, I have my headphones in. I'm not talking to the cab driver. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to talk to you. So we're driving. And we kind of like, we get off the highway and we're downtown. Like we're in like proper downtown San Francisco. And I'm seeing like a lot of homeless people. And then a lot of this. There was a lot of, let me make sure, let me pull up so I can make sure I'm on camera. There was a lot of this on the street. Let me show you. Here, let me turn the camera up. I'm going to do an impression. This is the typical San Franciscan. Ready? That, like everybody, just like a freaking dope fiend, just like drug addicts. Oh my God. And so I'm seeing this like block after block after block. I'm seeing like people with like shopping carts filled with stuff, people sitting in circles, obviously like snorting, shooting, smoking something, and just people just like shouting and yelling. And oh my God. Block after block after block. And I'm thinking like, all right, maybe we just have to pass through a bad part of San Francisco to get to a good part of San Francisco. No. It kept going and going. And then finally we get to my hotel. It's a nice hotel. A very nice hotel. Very nice room, very nice view. In the middle of the goddamn ghetto. Literally, I'm going to show you. I'm curious. You know how India has oh, what happened? You know how India has trash on every on like every Google Street View picture? I'm going to guess that San Francisco has like a drug user on everyone. Something like that. Let's see. Timbri. I stayed at the Timbri Hotel, San Francisco. Yep, right here. Here we go. $269 a night. And what do you get? Let's just see. Okay, there's the hotel. Looks beautiful. Look at that. Look at that nice new modern building. Ghetto. Now, look, I am not saying that anything in this picture particularly jumps out as ghetto, but I'm telling you, there were like, you walk down here, and there's just like people on you smell pot everywhere. And then so I arrived, and like I get there, and the fucking hotel, they don't have my room. My room's not ready, and they're like, well, it's not going to be ready for 45 minutes. And I'm like, all right, well, okay. At that point, I hadn't had a Diet Mountain Dew for 2 weeks. And so I'm like, all right, I'll kill some time. I wanted to go to a 7-Eleven to just find a Diet Mountain Dew. I start walking around, and it is just literally, it's just people sitting in circles doing drugs every block. It's just people screaming, like just shouting anything. And then first of all, most businesses were closed, and what businesses were still open had guards outside of them. Like there were like personal security guards everywhere. And the only thing that was open, there were three types of stores that were open. There was your mom and pop corner store, which was brave enough to still take customers. There were liquor stores, and there were CBD stores, or tobacco stores. That's it. You could either buy the basics of basically a shit 7-Eleven, or a liquor store, or a weed store. Nothing else. And I went into a couple of the like mom and pop stops that none of them had Diet Mountain Dew. And I look up on my phone. Okay, 7-Eleven. Okay, there's one like half mile away. All right. I was exhausted, but I really wanted a Diet Mountain Dew. I'm like, all right, I'll take a walk. I take a walk. 7-Eleven, closed. Everything boarded up, closed. What the hell? So I go to another one. Closed. What the hell? So finally I go back to my hotel, but there was a CVS, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the CVS because CVS always has Diet Mountain Dew as well. I had heard about CVS's and like general stores, the ones that still remained open. I had heard about them locking everything up. Everything locked up. The CVS was like a dystopian version of CVS. Everything was locked up. And in order to get my Diet Mountain Dew, I had to push a button and have a very surly woman come over, like, how dare I interrupt her scrolling through TikTok so that I could buy some merchandise. And she comes over and opens the door. And I'm like, thank you. And just walk away, whatever. And then grab my Diet Mountain Dew. It was just. And so then, like, a couple days after that, I go to Target because, like, I don't want to go back to CVS. Let me find the Timbri again. So the Timbri is right here. So if I come out of the Timbri and I walk up here towards Addy Street, the CVS was, like, right up. Was it this one or was it the next block? It was somewhere around here. But I'm curious as to what this street looks like because this was just... Oh, wow. It looks nice there. Wow. It actually looks almost like a decent little city there. Whoa. Ooh, color me surprised. I wonder what... I'll look in a second as to what year those pictures were taken. Okay, there's Union Square. Let me see. Oh, yeah, the old... Like this... What year was this? This is just July. Okay. Oh, that's why it looks nice. Oh, that's not police. I don't know. But it was just it. So I go to Target, I found a Target because I was there for a convention. So I go to Target. There was a Target right across the street from one of the convention was kind of like centered in the center of like a couple of hotels, and right across from one of the hotels there was a Target, and I go in there. The Target, not everything's locked down, but a lot of stuff, if not most things, were locked down at the Target. Now, I ran out of underwear. I'll just put it out there. I ran out of underwear. I mistimed doing laundry when I left Tahiti, and I didn't have as much clean underwear as I thought I did, and I couldn't do laundry in the hotel, so I go to Target to buy underwear. Gotta press a button. Have somebody come help you for that. And then I go to the checkout line. The checkout line, no self-service. Forget that. There was no self-service line, which is fine. I don't like self-service lines really. I'll use them sometimes, but I prefer annoying a person. I prefer talking. I don't know why. Because I'm old, okay? There. You made me say it, Muhammad. I'm old. That's why I prefer a checkout person as opposed to automatic checkout. But so there was no self-checkout line at Target. There's no candy. The shelves where the candy would have been were just empty shelves. They had obviously they had said, nope, no self-service candy at this Target. And I'm in Target for no more than 5 minutes. 2 different people. One guy, motherfucker, what the fuck going on? I can't fucking take, what is that fuck? And then another person, the second person's not even saying anything. He's just screaming. And then then I did a video. I wonder if I could find it real quick. I did a video because one thing I did like about the San Francisco trip is that they had those electric scooters. So in Iceland, they had the company's called Lime. And I used the heck out of them in Iceland. I loved going around on a scooter in Reykjavik. And but they had these in San Francisco, and I loved them. I loved the scooters in San Francisco. And so I guess it was like Wednesday. It was Wednesday or Thursday. I was like, all right, I'm going to take like an hour. I'm going to take an hour to myself. I'm going to like do non-convention, non-work stuff, and I'm going to take my GoPro. I'm going to mount it to the scooter, and I'm going to do a video of just me just driving around the city for an hour. That's all it is. No commentary, no nothing. In that span of an hour of going around San Francisco, I saw 2 separate fights. One fight was between 2 guys, one who was looked like he was just wearing boxers and a shirt, but it looked like his pants, like he did. I couldn't tell if they were shorts or just boxers. They looked like boxers, and he's fighting with another guy because the other guy took his sodas and he's begging for his sodas back, and then he's like trying to take them, and the other guys, they're like, there was a fight, and like this fight's happening right in front of me, and I'm like, nope, and I'm on the scooter, like I was waiting for a light to change, right, and I'm like, nope, and I just turn and I just drive away. The second one, I'm driving, and suddenly, like from around the corner, this old guy just comes running past me. And then no more than a half second later, there's 2 other guys running after him. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on in this city? Holy hell. Like, now I will say, I have to be fair. I mean, I don't have to, but I want to be. Let me take a sip of water. It was not all terrible. Like, there were like some parts up by the wharf that seemed very nice. Like up here in the Marina District seemed really nice. And then there was a whole downtown area that was like over here that seemed very nice. But even in the very nice, again, even in the very nice parts of San Francisco, just like India with the litter, San Francisco had the homeless / drug addict / vagabond / whatever. Like, it was just like, it was insane. I couldn't, I'm just like, and you got to understand, the conference I was at, it is a big conference. Like, if you are in my industry professionally, you know this conference. And you have probably been to this conference a few times, at least once or so. Not necessarily, but you know the conference for sure. The conference, of course, the conference I'm talking about, of course, is RSAC. And so you know this conference. You know, but I'm thinking, like, people come from, literally, I'm not being hyperbolic. People literally come from all over the world to go to this conference. And I just could not help but think of those people who are coming from other countries to come to this conference. I am sure there is a non-0% of people who this is their first time in the United States. And this is the exposure that those people have. That is the first exposure, their first impression of the United States. It is a fucking shame. It is pathetic. Oh my God, it was horrible. Fucking horrible. And it reminded me, and I see Razman said it sounded like downtown Toronto. I believe you, because it reminded me of St. John's in Newfoundland. When I went to St. John's, I went to St. John's in 2018. I loved it. Yeah, sure. You had like some homeless people in 2018 in St. John's. You had some element of people asking you for change, but it was, nothing out of the ordinary. When I went to St. John's when was that? That was 2023. The end of 2023, beginning of 2024. It was right before Christmas of 2023. When I went to St. John's, it was a fucking shithole. It was terrible. And it literally every 5 minutes. No, not even every 5 minutes. Every 30 seconds. Can I have some change? Can I have some change? Excuse me, sir. Can I have some change? Hey, man, do you have any change? Like, every 30 seconds in St. John. Now, I will say, to the San Franciscans that are on the street shooting up heroin, I will give them credit where credit is due. I didn't get asked for change once in San Francisco. So maybe they have plenty of money. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't ask me for change. Then again, I do have a tendency to dress like I myself am homeless. So maybe they figured I was one of them and I didn't have any change to give. I don't know. But oh my God, San Francisco was a fucking awful experience. Well, it's a fucking disgrace is what it is. It is a disgrace. And I don't know what was worse in San Francisco. Was it the people on the street shooting up drugs, fighting with each other, yelling at each other, harassing people? I had a coworker have a knife pulled on him. Like, this old woman came up to him and put a knife in his face and said something to the extent of, "I could kill you now and nothing would happen to me," and then walked away. So I don't know what's worse. Those people? I mean, whatever. Those people that I'm talking about, or the people who just walk by it like it is a normal, everyday occurrence. Like, oh, that's just San Francisco. Oh, that's just what happens. You had all these people that just walk by it like it's not even happening. Like, they don't even acknowledge it. They're just too busy in their headphone world, just trying to walk past it and pretend that they don't see it. So I don't know what's worse, the people that are doing it or the people that are ignoring it. I'm not sure. It was an awful experience. I mean, the conference was cool. I liked the conference, but it was set in this dystopian, drug-filled backdrop that I just couldn't wait to leave. I could not wait to get out of San Francisco. What a horrible fucking place. Horrible. And on that note, I'm going to call it a night. Wow. That felt good to get that out. I needed to get that out. But thanks, guys, for joining. Wait, let me see where I don't even like where did we leave things? I didn't get any work done. This is your fault, Razman. I didn't get to do anything. Jesus Christ, to try to get on here to do some programming, and then these people, they want code reviews and they want me to talk about San Francisco. I'm blaming Muhammad on this one. This is his fault. I am feeling sleepy. I think this is goodbye, and thank you for sharing your experience. I appreciate. Ugh, jeez, horrible place. All right, did I change the freeze? Did I? Oh yeah, I trimmed it a little bit. Did I make any significant changes here? I think we kind of learned. We didn't learn anything. I'm going to look at this in the morning, so I'm not going to bother checking in any code. But thanks for joining. I may stream in the morning. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. If not, I will definitely be back on Monday at the usual time. So thanks for joining. Have a great weekend. Be sure to check out this channel. And click and subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, check out my other channel at Addy Goes Places, which I should have a new video up on Sunday if everything goes according to plan. Thanks, guys. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.